I like how the first thing that's going to be picked up is me burping. That gives me a point of reference. And yeah, we
Welcome
Dan,
to the Packy Run podcast.
Dan, we have a name now.
Yeah, I don't know how I came up with that. I wanted something that was New England based and something we're both into, and Packy is very New England-y.
It is distinctly New England.
Yeah. So people who aren't from Massachusetts or the New England area, Packy is basically your neighborhood liquor store. That's pretty much what we call it.
It's the one where you're a regular. That's the Packy. You go to the Packy. The rest of them are all liquor stores. The home base, the one where you go to get your regulars, to get your champagne of beer in this case. That's where the Packy is.
True. Cheers.
Cheers to you, my friend. What are you drinking today?
I am drinking a Whale's Tail Pale Ale, from Nantucket.
It's a lot of ales.
I'm not from. I'm currently on Cape Cod. Might as well indulge in local beer to help support the local economy.
Now, why did I think Whale's Tail was is that a Costco beer?
I think you're thinking Kirtland.
Yeah, Kirkland's the brand. Damn,
I remember one time my friend got 100-pack of Kirtland Light. So
100-pack.
It was terrible. We were drinking those all summer.
Dude, yeah, I'm glad I am so glad we never got a 100-pack of beer. Good Lord.
I mean, it's Costco.
Yeah, that's
the place.
The logic there checks out for sure. That's too much beer. That is too much beer.
From I'm looking at, you're drinking a Miller High Life.
I am drinking the Champagne of Beers.
Champagne of Beers.
We are, it is the age of the beer virus.
That is true. And
which, funny enough, you do not get from drinking beer, which I guess is, I think we're both thankful for that at this point.
I mean, on 420, no less.
I know, right? What a day. What a life.
Yeah. Well, 420, I mean, today we just put out our first episode, so...
Yep, it launched today. It's it's everywhere except for Apple Podcasts because they have to make you jump through hoops. So we're jumping through those hoops and it'll be up within the next couple of days from what I can tell. But
we'll get there when we have to.
Yeah, it's all new. We're trying things out. Last episode you were drenched doesn't even quite describe it. You weren't drenched in reverb. You were if that episode was a cavern a mile long, you were a mile and a half back.
Dude, I have no idea what happened. The funny thing is, literally before we sat down and recorded our podcast, I was recording my radio show, my weekly radio show that I do every week. It's called Brooklyn Bandstand.
Bandstand.
It's on Radio Free Brooklyn. You can catch that every day. You can either download it through the mobile app or listen to it on your computer, but I just play local Brooklyn bands and New York artists and that kind of thing. Really cool, really fun, but I had no issues with that show. I sounded fine and literally clicked out and everything, and somehow my voice was it was all reverb.
That is a crying shame, as they say.
Yeah.
I'm going to interrupt. I'm gonna keep recording because why the hell not? But I just noticed I'm using a different microphone right now, and I noticed that every time I breathe, it's getting picked up. The meter is going. So give me a second. I'm gonna go switch back to the MXL that I was using last week.
Okay. I assume you're going to cut this section out of it.
I am probably going to cut it out, but also...
You should cut it out.
There is a certain amount of comedy in listening to these things. So give me just a second.
Bum, bum, bum,
That's staying in. All right, I think we're a little bit better. Oh yeah. I can even
Yeah.
hear it in my own voice now.
That is better.
Yeah, I was sitting there listening to you and breathing, and I was watching the meter. Just it kept jumping up, and I was like, "Oh no, that's not what you want."
I want to give a correction from last week to start off, or from the episode that came out today. So when I was talking about Good Looking Friends, I said the name of that album was Multiply to correct myself because the actual full album came out on Friday. It's called The Light of the Well. And fun fact about that record, and I think you would appreciate this, AJ. Chris Teddy from The World Is mixed it.
Oh, another one coming out of what is that studio called? It escapes me, but man, yeah, Chris Teddy, guitarist, I believe,
Yeah.
from The World Is. He is a producer extraordinaire. Anything in the kind of indie and punk realm, especially coming out of Connecticut.
Yes. To give a little bit more context about that record, because I didn't really go too deep into it. It has a little bit of The World Is. It has a little bit of like tiny moving parts with the like the sparkly, twinkly sort of emo vibe to it. Good record. I would recommend everyone listen to it when you get a chance.
That's true. That's a a lot of it is escaping me. I know he did, I believe, a Hostage Calm record.
He's done like Hostage Calm, All the World Is records. I mean, like anyone that's come out of Connecticut recently.
Yeah, in the past few years, pretty much everything has been, well, everything that's really kind of noteworthy, I guess, has definitely come across Chris Teddy's desk.
Yeah, especially like in like the Northeast. But we mentioned earlier, it is 420. It is also Patriots Day in Massachusetts. For those who are listening out of Massachusetts or not in New England area, it's basically to celebrate the American Revolution.
That is true.
You know, that's basically the summary of it. You know, like Lexington and Concord and all that stuff you learned in fourth grade and elementary school.
I would be really interested to talk to a couple of people, especially down here. I'd love to know whether or not they know about, I mean, obviously the Revolutionary War, I would assume, is still kind of taught in schools and done the right way.
Right.
The right way being a subjective term, I guess. But I would be interested to hear if they know a lot about that. Did you learn about like Plymouth Rock and all that other kind of stuff when you were in high school?
I did. I remember so like one of the field trips. I feel like every state probably has the same thing. Like I know probably for like New Yorkers or like people who live in a suburb of New York City, they probably go to the Met and Statue of Liberty and all those places as a field trip when they're younger. Boston, it's kind of the same thing. It's Museum of Science,
Oh, man.
Plymouth Plantation, and like the New England Aquarium.
I cannot remember the last time that I went to either the Museum of Science or the New England Aquarium.
I mean,
Plymouth Plantation being on the South Shore was definitely that's definitely kind of a regular occurrence, especially because they actually have a movie theater at Plymouth Plantation now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they would do a lot of like independent films and stuff like that. So it's a cool little place. It's not quite as luxurious as your Regal Theater or whatever, but it was awesome. I saw some great movies. When I would go and be there with my parents, or I think I was going there even before my parents moved to Plymouth, because we used to live in an even smaller town on the South Shore.
Wow.
Which is saying something, because they're all small towns on the South Shore.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But Plymouth Plantation was definitely a regular in elementary school. Museum of Science, the aquarium. Didn't they?
But also,
I feel like they did some updates to the aquarium not that long ago.
They probably did, but also Freedom Trail.
Yeah, so we never did.
You never did the Freedom Trail.
No, I did the Freedom Trail. It wasn't in school though. I never did the whole thing in one go. I think for school we went to the USS Constitution that's parked in Boston Harbor?
Yeah, like it's like an older ship.
Parked. Anchored,
Yeah.
maybe. That might be a better word.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember doing the Constitution when I was yeah, late elementary school, and that was probably the extent of the Freedom Trail when I was in school. My mom and I did the whole thing like in pieces over the course of a few years. We
Yeah.
did a bunch of different ones, and then I think 4 or 5 years ago, it was a while ago at this point. I met my cousin Tori, and my cousin Tim. I think we were supposed to go to some like ice cream festival or something, and maybe it was too crowded. In any case, we were supposed to meet up to do something, and we
Yeah.
ended up just doing a big walk, and we mostly followed the Freedom Trail.
I mean, Boston is such a walkable town.
For the
Or
most
city.
part, yeah.
Like, once you're in, like, North Station, pretty much, you can walk anywhere.
Yeah, and I would tend to. I think the few times that you and I would go up into the city and hang out during like vacations or whatever, it was mostly walking. I love the subway. I think the subway, the T is just easy to navigate.
Yeah.
Relatively speaking, there's definitely easier ones, especially considering the fact that Boston is basically entirely paved cow paths. Like there's no.
Yeah.
There's no rhyme or reason to where the streets are and what the streets, mean, as opposed to, a New York City where everything's just a grid.
Dude, it's... like, I...
You can't get lost.
No, you can't get lost, and it's so easy to tell people, like, directions. Subways, I mean, they're difficult starting off, but once you figure out, like, okay, that's uptown, that goes up the numbers, downtown, it's down the numbers. It's that's like the easiest way to think about it.
I'm sure that there are some people that is entirely too complicated for them.
Oh, definitely.
I bet there are some people that concept is lost on, but you can't
Yeah.
fix everybody.
But also with Patriots Day, it's the day of the Boston Marathon. Unfortunately, couldn't have a Boston. Can't have a Boston. Canceled this year because of the beer virus. Or was it postponed? Was it postponed?
We'll cut it.
Oh man, postponed until October.
I do believe it was postponed till October, yeah.
Or like September, something like that. But we did get the exciting news of new Patriots jerseys, at least.
That is, let's
So let's dive into that.
Let's just dive in, because it was, this is not what I expected. I will say that much. I was not expecting what we got as far as these jerseys are concerned. So maybe let's start with what did we going into it, because I think we were both kind of following it. There had been some allusions made to new jerseys, and some teams were going to do some rebranding and whatever. What were your expectations going into today, knowing that they were going to change it up a little?
I didn't think it would, and I'm looking at them right now. I didn't think it would just be our color rush.
So that was the most surprising part about it for me, was there had been some talk about it. Like I said, a lot of teams have been debuting their new uniforms. A couple of them have done a little bit of logo changing and whatever else.
Yeah, Tampa Bay, the Falcons, Atlanta Falcons, and also the Cleveland Browns.
Exactly. So they had gone, a couple of people had gone on record as saying that there was going to be something new. I thought we were going to get like the old, I guess they're old now, the silver that would be on the shoulders for the players and stuff. I thought that was maybe going to get, changed up a little or changed to white. Like I thought that there was just going to be some color changes and some minor tweaks. And what we got instead was basically both the home and the away jerseys are the color rush pattern, but they are now, it's an audio medium, so we kind of got to go into it, don't we?
So from what I'm assuming, the all blues, those are going to be the home ones.
Yeah, so it's going to be all navy blue with red and white shoulder kind of stripes,
white numbering
with white numbering with the red around it. It's basically, it's kind of like they inverted the old time, the throwback red jerseys. If instead of red it was navy, and they just kind of inverted the colors that way. That's what our color rush jerseys have looked like since the NFL started doing Color Rush, and now that's going to be our permanent as much as you can be permanent, home jersey.
Right.
The away jersey is the biggest change because it has a black stripe.
I don't see the black.
So the away jersey, the white jersey, the shoulder stripes, the middle of the shoulder stripe is not navy blue.
It looks navy blue to me from like the picture I'm looking at right now.
It is red and black. Let me pull it up. I suppose I could be wrong. Let's see.
I will say this before you make that point. The away jerseys look better than the home. If somebody was like, hey, I'll buy you a Patriots jersey, what do you want? I'd want the away. I'd want the white. I like the blue pants. That's a good look with it. Maybe they could have gone with like that red 80s, you know, the red, the old school.
Yeah, the throwback reds.
Like that would have been cool. It's kind of, that would have been at least a little bit interesting.
I'm watching the like launch video on their Instagram right now, and it's really hard to tell. I think a lot better of it if it is. Yeah, you're right. It is navy. It is a navy stripe in the red, and you know what? That I don't know if it was like the contrast on my phone or something, but there was something about the red and black that was really kind of just random to me when I first saw it, and that was kind of the first thing that I thought about with the away kits. But now that I'm actually seeing it and it is navy, that's a nice little tie-in. And I'm happy we've done the white away jerseys. We've done those jerseys basically before, but we basically used those jerseys for like a color rush night, but they didn't really change the white.
I remember they were all white.
Yeah, they had white pants, and that was a the Patriots looked like they were running around in long underwear. And it was not my favorite look. And I'm pretty sure we lost the one game that we played wearing those.
I think it was like against the Bucks.
Was it?
I think so.
I don't remember. I vaguely remember them losing, and yeah, not a big fan of the away color rush jerseys of years past. But if we're gonna go with that, yeah, it's a slick look. It's a little bit more minimalist, you know?
Yeah.
Which is an interesting turn where a lot of the other teams have kind of caught on with that. But you still have teams like the Bengals up until this year, the Buccaneers. Trying to think of some other ones where it was the Titans uniforms. Again, my hatred of the Titans also manifests itself in their uniforms, which everything, the font, the design, the shapes on the shoulders, oh my god, just horrendous. So yeah, a very kind of like minimalist look with the same kind of font for the numbers and the names on the back and everything. I'm very much in the pro column for these things.
More or less, I am in the pro, but I think the aways look way better.
I think the aways are, I'm not sure if I like them better. I like in my day-to-day life, I like wearing dark colors. I like the look of the navy jerseys, and the color rush jerseys were definitely some of my favorites. I never actually went out and bought one because they were color rush jerseys. They were always more expensive. Oh no, Dan cut out. What I was saying before we had technical difficulties was, yeah, I've always liked the navy jerseys. I like the darker jerseys on them all the time. The color rush jerseys were always more expensive on the websites and everything else, so I never pulled the trigger on one. But now that they're going to be standard fare, it's probably not outside of the realm of possibility for me to get another one. But I already have an Edelman jersey in the classic navy, and I've got a throwback red Brady jersey. Both of which have Super Bowl patches on them. One is legitimate, the other one is hand sewn by me. Because why not? I found one on eBay and it looks good enough. So yeah, I think as far as redesigns go, that was probably the best option. I don't think they were. I know a lot of people were talking about throwback, like the Royal Blues, like the Drew Bledsoe era, which would have been really cool for like 2 games, and then I think everybody would have been sitting around going, "Oh no, this is more than we bargained for."
Yeah, that is true.
And then I see a lot of people talking about throwback reds and whatever else. And I think the issue is that you can't really do the throwback, the red jersey without the classic Pat the Patriot logo. And the NFL, I think next season they're going to allow teams to have or allow players to have multiple helmets.
Really?
But yeah, the reason why Pat the Patriot has not made an appearance since 2010, I believe, is because the NFL will not allow players to have more than one helmet.
Mm-hmm.
So the one helmet is the only one you get, and you can't go and like the logos aren't temporary, obviously. So you can't just slap one on, and you can't use an alternate helmet. So, having the throwback reds really doesn't mean anything if you can't have that logo. So you just avoid it.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
I believe that rule is going to be changing, in which case throwback reds should absolutely make a comeback, because that was what the 80s was when they were wearing those.
Yeah, it was like 60s, 70s, 80s.
Yeah, that is the true like the original Patriots uniform.
Yeah.
But that does still leave the door open for the royal blue, the 90s uniforms. Which I would not be shocked to see those come back, because it still has the like Flying Elvis logo on it. So they would not have to change helmets. And it's been teased a couple of times. I think it was Edelman who posted like a photoshopped image of him wearing he was wearing number 11, and he was wearing the blue, the royal blue ones, which means if that picture is not photoshopped, he was definitely wearing a Drew Bledsoe jersey.
There's been like other players that have popped up and started to wear those like old school like 90s jerseys. Like Devin McCourty wore one in like late last year.
They're available on the Patriots website, I believe. Patriots, please sponsor us. Can you imagine? They're available for order on the website, which I'm choosing to take as a sign, because that would be pretty sick.
So right now on the website, you can get an Edelman jersey, like a 90s throwback
In the royal blues?
Yeah.
That's pretty sick. I have no need for another Julian Edelman jersey, but that would be pretty cool.
Well, like, I don't know if that's true. Like, you can do that though, right?
Yeah, Patriots Pro Shop. Let's Google it.
I'm curious about that.
Patriots Pro Shop. I'm sure that it's going to be. Oh, look at that. New uniforms. Order now.
Yeah, of course.
Let's check.
They want you to order them.
They want that money.
I mean, everyone's struggling for money these days.
Number one selling jersey on the Patriots Pro Shop right now is the new away jersey for Edelman. And yeah, it is navy blue. It's navy blue on the stripes and the numbers. That is a slick look. I will give them that. I'm still scrolling. It's all news. They've got the throwback reds up there. Oh, they got to be somewhere. They were advertising them like crazy not that long ago. Jerseys, men. Let's find out. There it is. Yep. Drew Bledsoe, royal blue, New England Patriots legacy replica jersey with the big Flying Elvis on the shoulders.
I have one. I actually have that jersey somewhere.
That's what an interesting take. It so screams 90s.
I mean, it's so dated. You can tell. Everything back then was so big and kind of bulky and like.
Well, and it's like it's
loud.
The Patriots Rams Super Bowl was the Rams wore their throwback colors, and it was like
no, they were. Oh, you're talking about the most recent one.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Rams wore their throwback colors like bright blue and bright yellow, and it was cool. Like, especially I'm sure for those fans that was really, really cool. But it was a look.
I personally like that look. Those are nice jerseys. They had those in the 90s. I like kind of the old school look of them.
Well, the nostalgia is strong with those things.
It's definitely nostalgia.
Certain. Yeah.
And now the Rams logo and jerseys are just going to look... Have you seen the Rams jersey or the Rams logo?
I have not. Let's get some hot takes on it.
It is. No, this isn't a hot take at all, because it's been unanimously panned on the internet as like one of the worst sports logos ever.
Oh no.
It is so bad.
Yeah, just not. They unveiled the new logos. Yeah.
It's not a good look. They should have just kept the
No.
old. Yeah. Nobody likes it.
Ah, well. They can't all be winners, can they?
Right. So it's a good look. I mean, I prefer the aways. I think you never said which one you preferred if someone were to give you a jersey.
No, I think I'm gonna have to agree with you there. I think the white with the navy and red kind of embellishments on it. That's a great look.
Yeah.
Especially with the now that both the home and the away, both the home and the away. Good God.
Yeah.
They have the navy pants with the red and white stripes down the sides.
Mhm.
They look good. They look clean. They look put together. Like I think they knocked it out of the park with that one. It does make me, speaking of the Rams logo though, it makes me scared about what's going to happen if they decide to rebrand the Patriots, if they decide to go for a new logo or something, because there's no winning in that game.
They've had two solid logos.
Yeah, I mean, Pat the Patriot was, he was super, super loved, but especially with more, I guess, modern techniques and putting together the uniforms and whatever else. That's a hard logo to, put together or put onto things.
No, it totally is.
It's a little bit too detailed. So then they went with the Flying Elvis, which is, if you're not from New England, you probably hate that logo because it's been,
It's been winning yeah.
It's just
all we do is win.
It's been a symbol of it's been a symbol of your self-hatred if you are a football fan and not a Patriots fan.
I mean, it's like seeing that big NY with the pinstripes.
Oh God. Do you know, speaking of that, it took an embarrassingly long time for me to realize that the New York Yankees logo was an N and a Y just put on top of each other.
Yeah.
It took me a solid 13 or 14 years of living before I put that together. It was not good.
I mean, hey, they came up with it in what was it, probably the 20s or the 10s.
Yeah, way back.
Yeah, they weren't thinking logos. They weren't thinking branding at the time. And now the Yankees are worth $5 billion. They are the most valuable franchise in all of sports.
And
they must be doing something right.
And I hate them all the more for it.
I mean, I hate them too, but you got to say this. I mean, I hate to say it, but the Patriots are kind of the Yankees of the NFL.
Oh, the Patriots are absolutely the Yankees of the NFL. They are the evil empire. And you know what? I'm okay with it.
We relish in it.
Yep, I'm okay with it. And you never know when that ride's going to stop. So,
hey, we're still on it.
So, yeah, so far so good.
Speaking of trying to keep it going, the NFL draft is this Thursday.
Are they still going through with it?
I mean, it's an online draft. So okay. Roger Goodell is going to be in his mom's basement
yes.
announcing all the picks.
The mental image is it came so naturally to me that Roger Goodell would be sitting in his mother's basement unfurnished except for his futon in the corner.
There's an Xbox 360 and just beer and takeout everywhere.
If he does not halfway through the draft call upstairs to his mother to ask her to make more pizza rolls, I will eat my own hand.
I mean, of course we're being facetious here. We're joking around, but we do hate Roger Goodell.
He is
I think he's the number one enemy of everyone in New England.
Yeah, he's Whitey Bulger was killed, so yeah, it's Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell is public enemy number one.
Yeah, at this point.
Yeah, that checks out.
But we have 1 first rounder, we have 3 third rounders, a 4th, a 5th, 1, 2, 3, 4 6th round picks, and 2 7th round picks. We got a lot of picks.
And we have any names that we're looking out for there?
We got a lot of holes to fill on this team. Well, There's been some talks. I mean, there's been some talks about them taking a quarterback very high. There's been reports about that. Some of the names to look out for are Jordan Love. He is a Utah State quarterback. He kind of had a down year last year because of the weapons he had the year before left. But they are predicting, the draft experts are predicting he will have, he has the highest upside.
Okay.
Also, Tua Tagovailoa. He is a quarterback from the University of Alabama.
Oh, no.
He is fantastic. He is one of the more talented quarterbacks. He not recently, but back in December, he had an injured hip. Got an injured hip. And there's some talks that his draft stock might
drop because of it?
Yeah, might drop. So he might drop to the 23rd pick.
Oh, wow.
Now,
okay.
Here's the thing. I will say this right now. The last 2 years I have done mock drafts. I haven't gotten a single person on either of those drafts.
Welcome to the wonderful world of Bill Belichick.
So I am done making mock drafts. So this time I'm going to make a wish list.
Okay.
Of what I would want.
All right.
So we got the 23rd pick in the first round. Don't take it, Bill. People are saying they should trade up or they should take a quarterback or like a player at that spot. We don't have a second round pick. I'd want the Patriots to trade down from that spot, get a later first, and maybe a second.
Okay.
That's what I would want. And as far as what I want from the draft, yes, quarterback is on that list, but there are positions that are more important before that. Edge, linebacker, tight end, wide receiver, and offensive line.
Yeah, our receiving core specifically is gonna need we need some updates and we need them quickly. And then tight end has just been non-existent since Gronk. So I'm with you.
We have no names for tight end right now, but there's no one worth taking in the first round for tight end. Wide receiver, this is the deepest class for wide receiver. There are good wide receivers in the third or fourth round that we are able to get. We can wait on that. Why take a receiver in the first round when we can pick up good value?
Yeah, it's one of those things where the draft has so much hype around it. The draft has a lot of talk around it. You know, every sports talk podcast, radio show, whatever, like everybody is excited for the draft every year.
Oh yeah.
But I would say comfortably 70% of that hype, especially when it comes to individual players and things like that, is just wasted. Like, there are so many high round picks and these names that get tossed around in the weeks that lead up to the draft that you just never hear from again.
Oh yeah.
And that's part of the reason I'm not disinterested in the draft, but I've never done a mock draft or anything, but I'm with you where it's like, if there's a name that's getting bandied about, if there's a thing that makes sense, I'll get excited about it. But I just don't I can't find myself buying into the hype for it ever, because so much of it just seems to be wasted energy on some of these players.
Well, like last year, I didn't think they were going to take a wide receiver high. Belichick has never taken a wide receiver high.
He's never needed to.
He's never needed to. But like, also, when you think of like the past 20 years and you think of like the rosters that he's had as a whole, wide receiver is usually not the thing he targets the most. Usually it's a defensive player, offensive line. I don't think he ever took a wide receiver in the first round until it was N'Keal Harry. And now a lot of people have been down about him, and I give him a chance. He was injured a lot. We got to see what he has. I'm not going to call him a bust yet. Some people are already giving him that.
Yeah, it's the injury. The injuries were probably the biggest issue there. But it's also, the Patriots are such a systemic organization that, of course, you're not going to get a not a number one wide receiver, but a first rounder for a wide receiver from college football, and then drop him into that system and expect him to be, the greatest thing since sliced bread. That's not how any of this works.
No.
Especially not when you have a 42-year-old quarterback at the time who clearly seems to have a need to have like personal connections and, time to actually identify with his receivers before he even wants to throw at them, never mind whether or not he can.
Yeah. So for me, I would love to see the Patriots trade down into the late either the early second round or the late first round, and maybe in the process get a second round pick. I don't know how many teams would actually be down for that, but if there are teams willing to trade up to get their quarterback of the future, I mean, like, the Saints are down sitting there.
The Saints, I think, this year are going to be in a similar boat to the way we were with Brady last year. I think there's a lot of people down in New Orleans that are starting to think twice about whether or not they really want him there.
I think so too, but trade down to 29, 30 or something like that. Maybe the Titans need a wide receiver. I know that they're always looking for weapons. Or the Ravens, anyone. Like, trade down, Patriots. That's what I want. Pick up an edge or a linebacker. Someone who can get after the quarterback. We got Chase Winovich. I think he's going to have a huge year next year. He's going to be kind of fill that role of Kyle Van Noy and like Rob Nikovich. I think he's going to do that role.
If the Patriots do what they have always done, especially during the offseason, and just beat into these guys' minds what the system is, how to work within the system, how to function as a unit and be a team. Just the more time I spend thinking about it, the more time I'm sitting back and feeling really confident in this team. Again, I think the playoffs might be a little bit of a stretch. I think that's a stretch goal. If we even get to the playoffs, great. But like I've seen out on the interwebs and heard from a couple of people about how god awful the Patriots are going to be now and blah 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 blah. It's like that's not going to happen though. That's not this team. That's not this organization. Like, yeah, we lost our most famous and arguably one of our most important players.
We still have the greatest coach of all time.
Exactly. And we still have a system that has just proven to work time and time and time again. The people the players themselves don't really matter that much as long as they just show up, and everybody who's not a New England Patriots fan is going to groan right now if they do their job.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
I mean, you're right. So, late round, pick up linebacker or a pass rusher. That's what I want. If they can pick up a second round pick, that's where I want a quarterback, in that sort of range. Don't pick a quarterback high. I want someone in the second round. And some names to look out for. The quarterback from Oklahoma, Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
He came in second in the Heisman Trophy voting in college this year. He originally was at the University of Alabama, transferred to Oklahoma, got his chance to start. He is somebody who is a team first guy, somebody who always puts the team first, and I appreciate that, and I think that would work very well in New England. Another name is also Jake Fromm from the University of Georgia. He originally, being a freshman in college, he made it to the national championship game, nearly won against Alabama, but he's been kind of turnover prone, he is a big name from college, but if Belichick is able to coach him up, not just Belichick, but like also Josh McDaniels, and anyone from the offensive coaching staff, maybe he would be a good option in the second round to get.
That logic all checks out for me. Yep.
And then, I mean, here's the thing. If we were to trade down from the first round, we might have to throw in one of those third round picks. Maybe. So, like, let's assume they trade down. Let's say instead of 3, we have 2 at this point. I would like to see a wide receiver drafted in that position and a tight end. I think.
Yeah, I think I'm less interested in wide receivers just because if you're a student of Patriots history, I think almost all of our success stories at wide receiver we have ended up just trading for, and they've usually been, Belichick has a history of reviving careers and also taking just no-name players and making them household names. So wide receiver, I think as a general rule, I'm just not really that concerned about. I think this past year and even probably the last season, maybe the last 2 seasons of Gronk's career, it was like, man, we need a tight end and we need one bad.
Yeah.
That's just a lot of the plays that they're running, a lot of the schematics just don't seem to, if you don't have a tight end who is a viable weapon, which it would be an understatement to call Rob Gronkowski a viable weapon, if you don't have a viable weapon at tight end, a lot of this stuff just ends up falling apart, because you could see all through the past 2 seasons what it's been like when Edelman's the big name for receivers and he's double covered, triple covered every single play. Like, it's created issues.
Well, then Brady has to throw to Philip Dorsett, who is by far my least favorite Patriots player of all time. I can't think of anyone I hated more playing for the Patriots than Philip Dorsett.
And I know we talked about that on an Instagram Live, but inform the podcast listeners why you feel so strongly about Philip Dorsett.
He literally has hands made of bricks. Like, his hands are bricks. He doesn't catch anything. He's fast, but he can't catch anything. So he is useless.
Or
he is
as people in Boston would say, he's got butterfingers.
Yeah, he does. He's better off being a corner for our team.
Yeah, he not a productive member of the squad, I don't think. He was not
right.
Yeah, productivity was not his strong suit by any means.
So anyways, going through some of the more picks. For the 4th round, I want an offensive lineman. David Andrews, he still has some sort of still has injury concerns about him. He's a good offensive lineman, good center, but we need to draft somebody who specifically a center.
We need a Mr. Reliable.
Yeah, we do. I mean, it's still unclear whether he's going to come back or not. Maybe draft another one in the 5th or in the 6th. We need, because who knows what's going to happen with Joe Thuney. Joe Thuney we're trying to re-extend him, but there's some talks about trading him.
Well, we also got to find some cap space here.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm scared for my boy Jules.
But it's crazy. What's crazy is next year we literally have $88 million in cap space. We have all the cap space in the world next year. We are just tight right now.
Yep. Which again, I think we're going to be fine this year. I think next year, next season, it's gonna be time to start watching the Patriots again for everybody. And those of us in New England will love every second of it, and I think the rest of the world is gonna be kind of putting their feet in their mouths over all this Brady's gone, the Patriots are done talk.
Yeah. Something else we need from the draft, we need a kicker. We let go
we let go of Steven Gostkowski.
Yep.
How sad is that?
Yeah. Guess who's actually in this draft?
Who?
Adam Vinatieri's nephew.
Oh, God.
So...
Is it hereditary?
Yeah, his last name is Vinatieri.
Oh my God.
So
can you imagine what if that's just the family history is just kickers for the New England Patriots?
But I've been seeing on Patriots Twitter and Instagram, just every Patriots fan just being oh my God, Vinatieri's nephew.
And we talked about it last episode. I don't believe in the Cinderella stories. I think at the end of the day, Major League Sports, you can say the same thing about our other great love, music. A lot of this stuff at the end of the day is a business. It's a dog eat dog world. That's how it's just the reality we live in. So while I don't necessarily believe in Cinderella stories, I do love a good one. And can you imagine if Adam Vinatieri's, you said his nephew?
I think it's his nephew, from what I've been reading online.
Can you imagine if we have another kicker named Vinatieri who just pulls off incredible plays for us?
I mean, hey,
one can hope.
Be great.
One can only hope.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think that is at least my take on the draft. Everything I would like to see. I want a quarterback in the 2nd round. I want some sort of edge rusher. I want maybe a linebacker. I want some wide receivers. I want tight end.
You got a wish list there, kid.
Yeah, I'm not going to give names. I mean, I know a couple names here and there. I said in the last episode, I am not a college football expert. I don't scout. I don't know all the names.
Yeah, it's and like I was saying earlier, there's so much of the draft that it's easy easy to get jaded about because it's so much of the talk around it and everything else is just so pie in the sky, and there's so much hype that's just wasted on people that never end up producing. So yeah, it's, if nothing else, it's interesting to watch. It's cool to see, what moves they actually make. It's always a mixed bag with Bill Belichick. In the game, off the field, you never know what you're gonna get out of the guy unless he's standing in front of the press.
I mean, especially, this is like the best thing to happen on TV besides the Jordan, The Last Dance that happened, that premiered last night.
Oh, sports Twitter's been sports Twitter's been all over that thing.
Dude, I was watching that last night, and gotta say it was a good watch.
That's true. I'm about to finish another rewatch of BoJack Horseman, which I think is it's a top 2 TV show for me. It's BoJack's right up there with The West Wing. It's funny, it's smart. There's plenty of stupid humor, and it's a cartoon. It's an adult cartoon about anthropomorphized animals. Like, yeah, there's a lot of just stupid jokes that are there for the sake of stupid jokes, but man, like, as a character study and the visual gags that they're able to pull off with just signs in the background and weird little things that the animals will do, like, even though they're acting like humans, they'll just have little moments where it's just like, oh yes, I'm watching a dog and a dog would react that way to something. Like, yeah. It's such a multi-layered show that I've probably watched through. They just finished up, they put out the last few episodes in January, and since then I think this is my second time rewatching the entire series, and it doesn't get old, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't finished it yet. I've been kind of scared to finish it, to be honest. But we had something else that we were going to go into. But do you want to go into top 5 TV shows of all time instead?
Refresh my memory. What was the other thing that we were going to go into?
It was this like, build a lineup for $15.
Let's save that for next episode.
Yeah,
that'll be our little teaser for next episode.
So tune in next week,
because especially in the age of the beer virus, we don't really know, besides obviously the draft on Thursday, which is I might try and push this episode out for the draft day, just for shits and giggles. I mean, we've got nothing else going on, and right now everybody's sitting around waiting for stuff to do, so why not just put out another episode, 2 in a week maybe. Although now that I'm actually recording myself saying that, no one knows. Maybe it'll be out for the draft. Maybe you guys can listen to our takes after the draft already happens and laugh at us for being stupid. Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, let's go in about TV shows. What are your... Oh man,
because you teased your list of, like, BoJack is at least number 2 on your list.
Yeah, BoJack's number 2. It's close to being number 1. But I think The West Wing beats it out. Both for nostalgia purposes. I started watching that show when I was, like, entirely too young, like 4 or 5 years old. I would sit there with my parents and I would have no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
None of it made any sense. My parents loved it, and I, like, learned to love it through osmosis. So yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, West Wing is up there. BoJack's probably number 2. Oh man, now I'm on the spot. I can't think of 3 others right here, right now.
So BoJack and The West Wing.
What are your top 2?
My top 2 shows of all time?
Yeah.
And, like, now I'm on the spot for this.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this is a gotcha moment.
Got him.
Got him. The Office, I mean, in no order. Like, of course, like, in one of the 2 slots, it's The Office.
Yeah, just based on rewatch value alone, The Office is up there for so many people because it's just, I don't know what it is about that show. It still kind of escapes me. I'm not sure The Office cracks my top 5, but
Really?
yeah,
That's surprising.
I don't think it cracks my top 5, but there is something about that show that has just resonated with so many people. It is it was such a moment that, yeah, I'm not shocked to hear that it's up there for you. I think part of it is kind of consistency. Like this has been the theme of like every discussion that I've had with anybody this past week has been consistency and consistent content, right?
Yeah.
So whether it's talking to people about like music business kind of things, or basic like I work in a retail space, so there's been talk about, you know, consistent effort and consistent productivity or whatever. I think that's part of the reason why Parks and Rec and The Office, well, besides the fact that they had a lot of the same creative team, they were just there's a level of consistency there, and not like Friends. Like, you know how you can pretty much watch any episode of Friends and within a minute and a half, like, you know, the entire plot. Like, if you're really paying attention, there's no twist that show can throw at you, partly because it's just been watched so many times, but also partly because it is just that formulaic. And that's not what The Office is. That's not what Parks and Rec is. But it's got some level of consistency that I am doing a terrible job of trying to put into words, that has just, like, people are enamored with it. And you know what? I love it. I love that kind of stuff. I love people liking things.
I think, and one of the things that was discussed in the Office Ladies podcast.
Oh, I forgot that was a thing.
So for those who don't know the Office Ladies podcast,
please sponsor us.
It's you just want everyone to sponsor us.
I want that money, Dan. I want to make money.
I mean, same. But the Office Ladies podcast, it's Angela, Kenzie, and
Jenna Fisher.
Jenna Fisher. Jenna Fisher played Pam on The Office. Angela Kenzie played Angela on The Office. Angela Martin. And they just have a podcast where they go through episode by episode, talk about The Office. And one of the things that they discussed one of the episodes, they had, I forget his name, the guest that they had on, but the reason why The Office he made this point that The Office was so successful because it's the perfect romantic comedy. And people really loved following the storyline of Jim and Pam and them falling in love and the will they, won't they. And I think it is something very compelling, and everyone does wish that they have that Jim and Pam relationship.
Oh, I just hit my mic. Way to go. Yeah, I think
maybe that's what you're trying to say. I think that's why The Office is a good show.
I think that's part of it. I think, and it's a romantic comedy. I think that's an interesting take on it. It's a romantic comedy on multiple levels, not only because of like the multiple relationships that go on. There's something about the humor and stuff though that just like they towed the line of cringe humor a lot, and sometimes they cross that line. There's a couple of episodes, the Scott's Tots episode. I have only ever seen that once. I'm never going to watch it again. It's just
But I think also the great thing about The Office is it wasn't always by the script. They did have some of those improvisation like parts.
I think the fact, now that I'm thinking about it, you know, those like, you know, some of the really big like ensemble cast comedy movies that have come out, like the original Anchorman or the 21 Jump Street movies, like things like that. It has a very similar feeling to just watching funny people and like putting them all in a room and like seeing what happens. So there's that like improvisational kind of bent to it. There's the romantic comedy angle to it. Like it's so many different themes and genres that they all just, God damn it, I keep hitting my microphone. They combined a lot of different kind of themes and stuff where, especially with comedy shows on network television, it's really, really simple to just do one thing, and a lot of them will do it well, a lot of them don't do it well, but they just stick to one kind of thing, and you get that like formula that gets really stale and never lasts very long.
Yeah.
As opposed to as opposed to The Office and Parks and Rec. And I would also argue Brooklyn Nine-Nine, who I think also shares a creative team with those two shows, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
There's just there's an amalgamation of different things that really kind of make those shows successful to really broad audiences, which I think is pretty cool.
Right. So The Office, in summary, well, we kind of went on a little tangent about The Office there.
We went off the rails, man.
We went off the rails with that, but The Office for me is in my top 2. I'd say also like How I Met Your Mother. Say what you will, I think it's funny. I think it was a good show when it was on the air.
How you feel about that ending? How do you feel about meeting the mother? You gotta. How old is that now? When did that show end? I think we were still in high school.
I think it was like 2012, 2013.
Good God. So what's your
what's my take on it?
What's our cold take on the end of that show?
I mean, he was gonna end up with Robin no matter what. That was the thing, you know?
I'm not even gonna bother spoiler tagging that. If you haven't seen that show by now, that's your fault. To the future listener, because I'm pretty sure anybody that knows us has probably already seen it or just doesn't care. But yeah, to any future listener that listens to this episode and hasn't seen it, it's your own fault, man. It's been way too long.
Yeah,
I'm with you. It was like they telegraphed that from season 1. If you didn't think that was how that was going to play out, I'm sorry, but what else can you say?
Yeah. Now, some of the other shows in my top 5, Young Sheldon, what's that? Big Bang Theory for sure. You know, that's one of the greatest shows of all time. 2.5 Men. I'm sorry, all those shows are terrible.
I hate you on so many levels.
If
we're gonna go that route, my favorite. I take it back. The West Wing is for liberal fairies, and my favorite show of all time is Roseanne.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yo, she's.
Yeah, let's not do a deep dive on Roseanne. Top two shows, or top 5 rather. West Wing, BoJack.
I'd probably throw BoJack in there too because of all the reasons that you said, but it's so well done. It's funny. It's so real too. You know what I mean? Like
that's one of the other things. It doesn't pull its punches.
Yeah.
Like if it's gonna go for like the dark humor, or like, for the lack of a better term, adult humor, like it goes all in on that. But if it's gonna go for like a really heartfelt moment, or if it's gonna go for, whatever direction it decides to go in, which can change based on the minute, it goes all the way with it. And that is not something that you can say about probably 90% of TV shows.
Yeah. And I mean, like, it depicts mental health pretty accurately. Yeah. Like, as far as like depression goes, and like addiction and like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Ooh. All right. Number three on my list is Community. Have you ever seen it?
I have not.
I forget if it's Dan Harmon or Justin Roiland. One of the creators is one of the guys who does Rick and Morty now, but it's just like an ensemble cast, and it's basically this group of people that all go to a community college, and through various hijinks in the first few episodes, they end up kind of like just becoming a group of people that gets together for like a study group and stuff. And oh my God, again, like that's another show that it doesn't really pull its punches ever. I don't think it's quite as smart or as deep as like a BoJack, but it is like the moments that it hits really, really hard. And there are some actual, it's not very often where I watch like TV or movies or anything and I like audibly laugh out loud. There's a lot of stuff that's funny and is quotable, and I like that kind of stuff, but oh my God, Community, even in just the first 2 seasons, has probably like at a minimum like 6 or 7 moments that are just laugh out loud funny. So that's definitely up there. So that puts me at what? That's number 3.
Yeah, I think that's number 3. I would say number 4 for me, if we're going like this, I like a little bit of reality TV. Bar Rescue. Bar Rescue's fantastic.
Okay, yep. Bar Rescue is I'm not the biggest fan. I've seen a couple of episodes and I've thoroughly enjoyed every episode that I've watched. So definitely definitely worthwhile.
I like it. I like watching TV when I like watching something where I'm learning something. And Jon Taffer. So basically, for those who have never watched Bar Rescue, the basic premise of this show is a failing bar calls Jon Taffer up and is like, "Hey, we're failing. We need your help." Jon Taffer comes in with his spies, and they're like, his spies are usually like, "Oh, these drinks are terrible. Your food is terrible. This place is a mess. Blah 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 blah." And then trains them and basically like remodels the bar, and like they end up making a ton of money. You know what I mean? Like, so like those type of shows.
Yeah, like House Hunters, but not but not necessarily specifically designed for middle-aged people.
Yeah, exactly. And what I like is Jon Taffer and his experts, because he brings in experts like a chef and a bartender. They make like drinks specifically to that bar, and they actually give you the recipes. They'll be like, "Oh, you put 1 ounce of lemon juice into this. Put a shot of vodka in there," and like you muddle a bunch of shit, and there you go. You got the whatever bar. I'm losing steam here with the drink.
This sounds made for Josh Lutz, one of our best friends.
Yeah, but it's a good show. I would recommend watching. I mean, he like yells at everyone. It's so funny. It's so entertaining. It is.
He goes full Gordon Ramsay.
Oh, it is way worse than Gordon Ramsay. It's so good. Like, watching some of his freakouts, but some of these people are just so dumb.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I mean, they're idiots.
Yeah, knowing, yeah, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked by that at all.
Nah.
So that was what, your number 4?
4.
All right, I think, man, number 4 for me. It's another. I know what my number 5 is. Oh, how could I? All right, my number 4 is very similar to what your number 4 is. Parts Unknown with Anthony Bourdain.
Ooh.
That I haven't even seen. I don't think I've seen every episode. I've seen everything that's available on streaming, and I got to do some searching because I think there's some earlier episodes and a couple of other things that are not necessarily on there. But that man, like, it's just, he has such a different way of approaching, like, not only like basically like a Food Network show kind of like format. Like, you would think it would just be another show of like, this guy goes to this place and he talks to this person and they give you the most like watered down version of what this kind of place is going to be, and then he's going to like go to some local place and give them a nice little bump or whatever, and it's so much more in depth in a shockingly small amount of time. Yeah, I could listen to Anthony Bourdain read the phone book and give his hot takes on people's last names while he does it. Like, that was a talent who was just gone entirely too soon. He was awesome. And then I'll just skip right to my number 5 because there's just not much to say about it. Number 5, Gilmore Girls. Used to watch it with my mom back in the day. It's witty, but there's a lot of kind of like pop culture references and things like that, but it doesn't. A lot of those references actually have aged really well. Where I think it could have easily just been like, what are they talking about? What are they doing? Yeah, it's people talking fast on TV, which I love, especially considering the fact that my favorite show of all time is The West Wing. It's just, there's something about it that, walking and talking.
It's so East Coast.
Yeah, I would say that is. I would say that it's a decidedly East Coast kind of thing.
It's so Northeast. For whatever reason,
they never mention a Packy though. It's upsetting.
What?
They never mention a Packy.
Oh yeah, I mean.
I guess it's not really.
Connecticut's weird.
Connecticut's annexed territory.
Yeah, kind of. Sorry, Connecticut listeners.
None of you are actually from there.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a lot like Nashville. Nobody's from Nashville. Everybody's from somewhere else. That's what Connecticut is like. Nobody's from Connecticut.
I mean, that's pretty much New York City / Brooklyn.
Oh, absolutely.
In a nutshell.
Connecticut is a myth, like the Loch Ness Monster and North Dakota.
So I guess I'll go into 5. Man,
Do it up.
like
I know, so many options.
The thing is, I don't watch a lot of TV shows. I watch a couple here and there, but
I have the TV on all of the time. I am almost never watching it.
now what I really enjoy watching is YouTube videos. And I guess I'm gonna cheat in a way.
Okay.
And the way that you were talking about Anthony Bourdain is how I feel about this YouTuber specifically, and the way that he talks about food and the way that he, what he does. He's a YouTuber by the name of Binging with Babish.
Oh, I've heard of him. Yep. I know what you're talking about.
He does, basically what he does is he does food from TV shows and movies and recreates them.
That's pretty cool.
And he just seems, I love the way that he talks about food, the way that he describes how to do something in a very specific way as far as cooking goes. I've actually used a lot of his recipes and they've turned out very well, and he's kind of been my inspiration to cook in the kitchen.
Well, that and the fact that everybody has time to do it now.
Well, even before then, like he would inspire me to go cook something.
Nice.
I'd be like, oh, that's really cool. And he just seems like he's somebody I just want to hang out with, and I really enjoy watching all his videos. And I binge them constantly, like I binge The Office.
Well, there you go. It's a pretty solid list on both sides.
I mean, like, I kind of cheated with
Yeah,
YouTube.
well, there's no rules here.
Yeah.
Ain't no laws when you're drinking Miller High Life.
Dude, do you see that I switched in the middle?
Yeah, what are you drinking now?
Well, like, I finished it, but I was drinking this cider. It's called Far From the Tree, and it's a margarita-inspired cider.
Okay.
Now, it's not good at all.
But you finished it anyway, you champ.
Yeah, I finished it anyways, because it was just there.
You champion.
Anyways, we've been recording for about an hour and 30 minutes.
Tight.
Let's wrap this up with our recommendations for this week.
All right, you go first.
This week, I'm not gonna recommend music. I'm gonna recommend a podcast to listen to.
All right.
Another podcast to listen to. It's my favorite podcaster. I've been listening to him for probably about a year now, but I think he doesn't get enough of the recognition that he deserves. He's also a YouTuber. He does a little bit of both. He is Zach Schaumler, and his podcast is by the name of Strong Opinions Sports.
Okay.
And you'd think Strong Opinions, he has a lot of hot takes. He has some hot takes, but he backs it up. He is a former college football quarterback.
Okay.
And he is 22 years old. He's around our age. And he just talks mostly about football. He knows the game of football a lot, and he does film analysis of every quarterback and why they are the way that they are. How are they successful? How are they failing? What is actually their deal? Like, he broke down Jameis Winston's 30 interceptions that he had like the last year, and he was like, okay, this was actually his fault. This was his wide receiver's fault. Like, he would break down the film like a coach does, like how Bill Belichick does, or like anyone else does, and explain it to the viewer or the listener listening/watching. And I don't know, like, I like hearing his perspective on the game itself. I think he just sounds like a great dude that I love listening to. One of the things that he does every show, at the end of every show, he does a PSA about suicide prevention. His brother passed away at a very young age, committing suicide, and it's something he's very passionate about. I like him. He has a lot of passion. He's just doing what he loves, and I really enjoy listening to him. And I would recommend him to anyone.
Cool. Yeah, I have not checked him out, so that's definitely going on the list of things to keep me entertained while I've got nothing to do. My recommendation, I'm gonna stick with music this week, but it's just gonna be a single song because I've been really, really, really enjoying it. My recommendation this week is going to be the song "Blinding Lights" by The Weeknd. The Weeknd, not my first choice for things to listen to. I don't know a lot about the history. I don't know, he's had a couple of pretty big singles that I've enjoyed in the past, but I'm by no means an aficionado.
The only thing I know about him is that like I Can't Feel My Face song.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I have a weird blockchain app where you can buy percentages of songs. So I own like $5 worth of a song.
And how's that working for you?
I mean, I've made like 70 cents off of it so far.
Tight.
So I'm sitting pretty.
Yeah, that I don't know what to do with that. I honestly don't know. I don't know how I feel about that app. You've
That's
told me
like
about
the-
it before, and I don't know. But no, this song "Blinding Lights," it's just like 80s synth revival kind of stuff. The lead kind of synth line on it just hits you the right way every time. I love it. It's a good song. You should check it out and listen to it. So yeah, I think that's the end of episode 2. Hit us on the social medias. We are at Packy Run Pod. We should be up on all streaming services by the time this episode comes out. And if not, you can guarantee that I am either working on it or beating my head against the wall because it's not working for me.
True.
Cool. All right, be well.
Anyways, hope you're well and the beer virus doesn't kill you.
That's the plan, man.
All right, talk to you next week.